Hi guys, so it's 10:30, something like that for you. You're just starting the day. I want to say hi from New York. I'm John from Flux. And the reason we've chosen this particular setting to talk to you is that that's the world of work that we hope you're trying to change, because it's fundamentally broken. And it's the job of your generation and my generation to really try and change this and to make work, essentially. So I know you're working with Emily and Tess today. You're going to be working on creating your playbooks. And I want to give you both some tips as to how you can do a great job of that and help change these organizations. I also want to give you some tips as to how you can not be changed by those organizations, because I think that's a really, really fundamental thing here. So first of all, I want to talk to you about the importance of knowing why you're doing the things you're working. So you're going to be working in teams, and the thing that brings a team together traditionally in these organizations is a boss telling them what to do. That's how corporations have grown into massive things. It's by having people at the top who are more important than everyone else. And that's why the world of work doesn't work. It's why people are uninspired. It's why people don't do great work and aren't creative. And that's not what we want you to do. The alternative to that is, instead of having like a boss or a leader tell everyone how things are, is to have a common reason why you're doing the thing you do, a thing that really gets you out of bed in the morning, that motivates you. And that's something I think you should discuss. Like, the first thing you should talk about in your teams is what's the change, what's the difference you want to make to these companies. Like, if you were to visually map that out, if you were to imagine it and really bring it to life, what's the impact you're trying to have? Why are you going to be going there every day? Why do you do what you do? And really having some clarity around that's super essential. So there are some great examples of companies that do this already. Patagonia is one of them. I really recommend you research them. Like, the impact they're trying to have or not have on the environment is like totally amazing, and they live and die by that. And it's why so many people in that organization have so much passion to do great work. It's fundamentally because they really give a shit. Another one is all of Elon Musk's companies, so Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity, are brought together by one really unifying philosophy. He says he wants to extend existential threat to humanity, which is probably one of the loftiest, maddest things I've ever heard from an entrepreneur. But I can understand why people want to go to that company and make a difference every day. So just try and think a difference of, even if it's small, what's the difference you want to make to these organizations, and really think about that. And the way that I describe it is that you'll know you're into something hot when you feel it physically, when you know fuck, I want to get up for that every day, I care about this. And that's really, really important, I think, to really gather around that thing that unites you and makes you want to do great stuff. So that's the first thing. The second one is, a part of this playbook is that you're going to have to create your sort of ways of working. And I think that's really important, because whilst earlier I was saying I was kind of having a go at autocrats or bosses or whatever, we still need to make really great decisions, and we can't make all decisions in consensus because it's too slow. So try and think of the ways in which you might want to make decisions. That's really key. And the values that you want your little family, your little team to work by, because those are the things that bind you, that unite you, and that will help create some really clear guidelines as to how you're going to work in the future. We'll send you some links. There's companies like Hano, Us2, Zappos, Netflix. I really recommend looking at Netflix particularly. If you Google Netflix culture deck, you'll find some great stuff there, and they talk about their values and how they bring them to life in every day. But these are, think of them almost as the rules that your team agrees to live by. But more importantly, they need to be real behaviors that you're going to show, because that's how you're also going to create change in these organizations. You're going to do great work, but the people inside these businesses who are used to working in slightly archaic ways in some senses, even some very progressive organizations work like it's the 80s still. And so for you to really role model what good behavior looks like is important. Something we really believe in at Flux is that autonomy and freedom is just paramount to being creative and being effective. I know that when I'm given freedom, that's when I do awesome stuff. When I'm constrained, a bit less. So try and think of the role that self-management and freedom plays in your teams, as I'm sure you already do very naturally. But also think of the kind of accountability and roles that you each have. Different people have different strengths. Some people are better at sort of projecting a goal and a vision. Others are better at doing and making. Others are better at visualizing things. Just think about your strengths, do a bit of an inventory of that, and try and figure out what your roles are. So then also what I want to talk about is that your and I guess it's something that I've learned the hard way, is that you're going into these organizations and you're provocative. Probably without doing anything, you're already provocative. By being young and talented and creative, you're provocative. By coming from the outside world, you're provocative. And obviously the impact of that is that the people inside these organizations a lot of the time will feel provoked. And that's a difficult meeting of minds in a way. So I remember when I first started working, I was pretty cocky and came in a little bit brash. And the thing is, I think I'm smart, I think I have great ideas, but the result of that is that people feel provoked and disrupted, and it didn't mix well at all. So also they weren't receptive to those ideas, which is a real shame. So what I want to encourage you to do is to be really empathic and think about how people feel inside these organizations. Think of the impact you're having, so that you're not coming in sort of full guns blazing and rubbing people up the wrong way. But equally, don't be contaminated by those environments. The way that you guys think is probably already more advanced in some areas, and equally you can learn lots in other areas. But don't let yourself be contaminated by hierarchies and structures and dogmas and the way things done around here. Don't let yourself be polluted by those things, essentially. So that's kind of what I want to leave you with. Just let me take a little look in case I've missed anything. So just to recap, I want you to think about what really motivates you and unites you as a group of people, and get that pinned out, because you'll do amazing work if you go from that space. I want you to think of what you stand against as well as what you stand for. You'll know this is not what I'm okay with, and that's a really great filter to your purpose. Think of the rules by which that your team chooses to work and how you're going to role model that, so that people in the organization can really be influenced by that. And then finally, you need to find a compromise, I think, between being an agent for change and trying to help these places change, as well as not being changed by them too much. Particularly some of the nonsense, the routines that happen when people spend all days at their laptops rather than communicating. Just try and be really deliberate about how you want to work, and that's the biggest impact you can have. So I'll leave you there. I think you're going to do some really awesome stuff. I'm really excited to hear what's happening, and I wish you best of luck.